was quite a Christmassy person growing up, as pretty much all children were. And Christmas Eve was always the hardest day of the year for me. I don't know about you guys, but you never get to sleep on Christmas Eve. And that pretty much stops when you become an adult and you realise that the whole thing's shit. And it is, you know, Christmas used to be about merriment and all this fun, and then it just becomes about getting drunk with people that you're supposed to love, and you don't. And that's Christmas, that's what it is. It's eating ham and going, fuck, you're racist, aren't you? That's Christmas, that's the spirit of Christmas. And it's, you know, for some countries it's snow and wonder, and for us it's like, God, my balls smell awful. That's Christmas. And I'd like to tell you a Christmas story about the last time that I had a hard time getting to sleep on Christmas Eve. And it was actually nearly 365 days ago. It was last year. But this time, it had nothing to do with the looming anticipation of merriment. Instead, had everything to do with a stranger that messaged me at 12:07 a.m. on Christmas morning through Facebook. This is a beautiful Christmas story about a boy called Jamie. Now, it's important that you remember for this story that Jamie and I have never actually met. Don't know why we were friends on Facebook, but we were. Jamie starts off the conversation with a simple, Merry Xmas, G. Not one to disparage a little spontaneous Christmas joy, I respond to our good friend Jamie with a more traditional and slightly less thugadelic, Merry Christmas, mate. Thought the conversation might end there, as it probably fucking should have. But instead, Jamie responds with, who even are you? I just messaged everyone, but like shit. It appears Jamie had forgotten he was the one that started the back and forth. Now at a crossroads, I'm like, do I block this obviously batshit crazy human being and go to sleep? Or do I satisfy my comedic curiosity, have a chat to this guy, stay up for a few extra hours, which would risk Santa skipping my house? It's for the kids, mate, it's for the kids. I decided to take the gamble. I'm Peter, I'm a comedian, I tell him. Eager to find out more about Jamie, I find myself lurking his Facebook account. I come to discover that Jamie, much to my disbelief, is a law student at James Cook University. Would never have guessed that shit. And I felt bad, felt ignorant, you know? I couldn't help but feel the popped collar in his profile picture acted as a bit of a wall, stopping me from seeing who Jamie really was. Now I understand how the people in Berlin felt about their wall. Actually, no, I'll stop that there, just to clarify. That's a pretty heavy thing to say, isn't it? I'll tell you what do you get what I mean by that? Okay, if you don't know your history, the Berlin Wall, it was a concrete barrier that it physically and ideologically divided the city of Berlin from 1961 to 1989. And although myself and Jamie's ideological differences only ended up lasting about 28 minutes as opposed to 28 years, I couldn't help but feel that history was in fact repeating itself. No more music. Just again, I know not verbatim. I know that's not exactly what happened in Berlin. I get that. I get that the Berlin Wall wasn't Nike branded, covered in cigarette ash and giving the finger. I understand that. But it's a metaphor. It's a deeper concept. Anyway, it was time for me to go all Checkpoint Charlie on this wall and make my way to the other side. History buffs are fucking loving this cue music. Here we go. What's up with you, Jamie? How's law? I ask. Jamie sees my message and takes a few minutes to respond. I assume his mind, his complex law student mind, must be trying to, find an articulate way to describe to someone like me, a lowly comedian, what it's like to study law. My phone sits in my pocket, I wait for his message, suddenly bing, oh, who is it? You guessed it, Jamie. You a pedo? Not quite what I had in mind there, Jamie. If you tell me you're not a pedo, then I'll talk. I then feel the need to question the logic there, or the lack thereof of Jamie's previous statement. I say, hey Jamie, I'm not a pedophile. However, what if I'm just a pedophile that's totally comfortable lying to a child on the internet? I mean, after all, if my morals are loose enough to dabble in pedophilia, you don't think I'm willing to engage in a little disinformation with a minor? He replies, yeah, you're not a pedo though. You're just a player. Well, that sure took a lot of convincing. Now to try and fuck this kid. No, I didn't fuck it. I didn't fuck it, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't. I'm smarter than that. I wouldn't have fucked him. I didn't. I'm not a pedophile, I understand the look, but I'm not. I'm still in the victim range. Age-wise. I'm not ready to take a... Anyway, look. And by the way, even though I'm saying I'm not a pedophile, don't just believe me because I'm like talking into a microphone. Like, do your own checks. Like, have a Google, Peter James, like background check. I've got nothing to hide. You can't find anything. And if you blindly believe that I'm not a pedophile just because I've told you now, then you were just as dumb and easy to fuck as Jamie. Anyway, before I even have time to respond to Jamie and ask what he means by calling me a player, he hastily and eloquently interjects with a simple, "Oi cunt, I want to show you something." Which you never want to hear from a stranger on the internet. Unless, of course, you're planning on turning this into a material, which, what a blessing. What an absolute blessing. Anyway, Jamie then proceeds to send me screenshots of a dirty conversation he'd been having with a lady earlier in the evening that went into rather specific detail about the things they were going to do to each other on Christmas Day. Not going to lie, surprisingly well written. Overall, not so much Jamie, but this girl, what an author. I mean, really knew her way around a verb. Man, could fucking put the doing in doing word, this girl. She was fantastic, and I found myself fully immersed in the world she'd created, and was engaged from start to finish, even if the ending was a little unrealistic. I just can't help but feel that she wasn't as excited for the consumption of a certain protein-based snack as she made out to be, but nonetheless, I applaud her narrative and hope she continues to write for it at 5 stars. Anyway, Jamie follows up to the screenshots by saying, "What a Christmas surprise." Winky face emoji. I'm beginning to believe that Jamie feels as though his online sexual exploits have just about reached biblical proportion. Enough to rival the story of the Virgin Mary for the most unbelievable and outrageous thing to happen on Christmas Day. I reply by saying, "Hey Jamie, this whole fucking thing right now is the biggest Christmas surprise of all." Jamie then hits me with 5 rapid fire messages in a row. They are as follows. "Yeah. Fuck She has a boyfriend too. Sad life. I'm gonna fuck her tomorrow, bro." Cut the music. Oh, really fucking a lot to take on with this. So much from again, complete fucking stranger. Never met this Jamie fellow before in my life. And it was at this point, which in retrospect was probably too late to realise, but I should probably stop talking to this child on the internet. For a few reasons. One, I didn't really feel like hearing about Jamie's sexual schedule. He'd already proven himself to be a wee bit of an oversharer. And 2, I needed an end to this story. So I attempt to bring the conversation to a close with this. Jamie, I'm not going to lie, this has been thoroughly fucking confusing. And I have no idea why you're sharing any of this with me in the wee small hours of Christmas morning. However, I appreciate your willingness to fucking dive right in the deep end with a complete stranger. Best of luck for tomorrow, bro. Hope it goes well for you. The link below will direct you to the Cairns Sexual Health Clinic. It's probably best to bookmark it. Chances are you're going to need it. Good night, Jack. Merry Christmas.